Our Climate Clock is Ticking by Maddie Freed and Cecilia Carnelli. 2 topic questions to begin our presentation is 1, what effects is climate change having on the occurrence and severity of typhoons, hurricanes, and other severe storms? And 2, are shifting weather patterns making some geographic areas more vulnerable to storms? But why are we asking this? The rationale behind these questions stem from the fact that we could learn more about how to predict these storms by looking at the change in atmospheric conditions. We could also learn about the frequency and intensity of climate change on storm patterns, such as hurricanes, typhoons, and other severe storms. To start learning how this process works, you must be aware of both the short-term impacts and the long-term global consequences. In our introduction, we talk about the category of climate change. Our themes include storms, droughts, and ocean circulation. There's been an increased intensity of extreme weather events, and the rising global temperatures disrupt weather patterns and reduce water availability in droughts. First, we're going to discuss storms. So, as warmer oceans provide more energy for storms like hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones, this results in stronger winds, heavier rainfall, and more destructive storm surges. These rising storm surges are driven by melting ice caps and the expansion of seawater. They amplify storm surges, and coastal areas are way more vulnerable to flooding as a result, even more moderate storms. The changing patterns in climate change is shifting storm tracks and seasons. For example, hurricanes may form outside of their traditional regions or times, posing challenges for preparedness. Now, there is a huge human impact in this, such as burning fossil fuels. The gases trap heat, causing global temperatures and ocean surface temperatures to rise, which then energizes storms. Deforestation is also another human impact on these storms. More CO2 remains in the atmosphere, increasing global warming and disrupting weather patterns that influence this storm formation. For example, hurricanes like Katrina in 2005 and Harvey in 2017 were intensified by warmer sea surface temperatures. Next, we talk about droughts. An increased evaporation rates caused by warmer temperatures cause soil and water bodies to dry out more quickly than rain can restore them. This is happening because the rising global temperatures. Also, there's melting snow and ice because these warmer temperatures cause glaciers and snowpack, which acts as natural reservoirs, to melt faster and earlier in the year. There's an increased frequency of heat waves as well. Climate change is making heat waves more frequent and intense, which amplify drought conditions. The human impact on droughts include land degradation and overuse of water resources. Clearing forests and overusing land for agriculture reduces the soil's ability to retain its moisture, and the overuse of rivers and lakes for industrial and domestic purposes are depleting all the water supplies. For example, the California drought lasted 8 years and affected most of the southwestern United States. This caused water shortages, wildfires, and economic damage to agriculture.
Switching it up, we are now going to talk about our peer review publication. For our article, we started to talk about the impacts of climate change and land use/coverage change on runoff in the lower Connecticut River Basin. The study analyzes rising runoff trends in the lower Connecticut River Basin from 1956 to 2014, highlighting the impacts of climate change and land use changes. Increased precipitation was the main driver, while land use changes had both positive and negative impacts. Abrupt shifts in runoff patterns were identified in the 1970s, offering insights for water resource management. Annual runoff significantly increased in the basin, driven primarily by the changes in precipitation patterns and land use. Precipitation contributed to a 106.5% increase in runoff. Potential evaporation transpirations had a slight negative impact at negative 3.6%. While there were many impacts on climate change, these are the ones we decided to focus on. Hydrological cycle alteration. Changes in precipitation and increased runoff strengthen the water cycle's intensity, more frequent/severe flooding. Land use amplifies climate impacts. Urbanization reduces natural water absorption through vegetation, increasing surface runoff and potentially worsening the effects on heavy rainfall caused by climate variability. Feedback loops. Increased runoff and extreme precipitation could worsen regional water management challenges, including risks to water quality and ecosystem balances, further stressing the resources in a warming climate. For our project, I wanted to bring up the idea of melting snow. Melting snow is directly linked to climate change because as global temperatures rise, more snow melts earlier in the year, leading to reduced snow cover, which in turn absorbs more sunlight, furthering warming the planet. In the first picture, dated December 4th, 1:44 a.m., was taken the other day during snow. December 5th, 4:26 p.m., you can see that said snow is already melting. Extreme weather patterns are evolving, bringing more intense storms and extended seasons. While snowfall in Connecticut is becoming less frequent, it is often more destructive when it does occur. In general, the state is anticipated to experience milder winters with increased rainfall and higher flooding. Warmer winters with reduced snowfall are reshaping outdoor activities and the environments where people engage in them. While temperatures remain cold, they are no longer consistently low enough to create snow and ice. In Connecticut, climate change is evident in the decreasing amount of snowfall, especially during the winter. Warmer temperatures have led to some more precipitation falling in as rain rather than snow, resulting in shorter snow seasons and less snowpack buildup. Snowstorms are increasingly being replaced by rain events, reflecting the region's shifting winter climate. Climate change is one of the most pressing issues of our time, profoundly impacting our planet in ways that are becoming increasingly evident. Throughout this project, we explore the causes, consequences, and potential solutions to climate change, focusing on its direct effects on weather patterns, ecosystems, and human communities. We hope one day to see this change. The effects of climate change are undeniable, but so is our ability to act. The time to protect our planet is now.